Good morning, Canberra, for Cam's Mortgage Minute on Monday, October 1st. Today I thought we'd switch gears a little bit and we'll talk a little bit about commercial real estate. There's an interesting report coming out by CB Richard Ellis Canada, and it looks like it doesn't look like it is. There's a stark contrast between what's happening back east and what's happening out west. Anything basically west of Ontario, it seems to be a big dramatic difference in commercial real estate. One of the key measures is the amount of space absorbed by businesses, and that is considered the ultimate barometer, and demand is, demand basically tells you what's happening. And the West, when it comes to demand, is winning handily. In the third quarter, the West absorbed over 621,000 square feet of commercial real estate space, while the East was a negative 154,000. Year to date, 3.2 million square feet of demand has been absorbed out west, compared to only about 682,000 in the east. The industrial space segment basically is doing the same thing, where out west it was 4.5 million square feet in the third quarter, versus the east where it was a negative 400,000. Year to date in the west, 8 million square feet has been absorbed, and 2.87 million back east. So as you can see from these numbers, there's basically a tale of two Canadas. A lot is happening out west. East definitely seems to be having its challenges. And even though we've made great gains, they're expecting the overall market and the overall Canadian sector to not be exactly stellar. There's certainly parts and segments, as I said to you, basically mirroring the residential side, where things are fabulous, and other parts that things aren't so great. The top downtown office markets in the country were Waterloo, Edmonton, and Montreal, based on absorption of space, and Calgary was the top suburban market. Toronto year to date has a negative absorption rate, and they're thinking that by the end of the year that should hopefully be a break even. Now Montreal, with the recent election of the separatists, it remains to be seen what's going to happen there, whether that's going to have a severe impact on Montreal or not, but time will tell, and I'm sure we'll touch on that later. And overall, they're saying that the investment activity is definitely starting to slow down. We're starting to see a bit more cooling on the commercial and basically the industrial side as well. Again, mirroring somewhat the residential side, but still demand is pretty heavy, especially out west in the provinces where we've got sector resources and all different sorts of things like that. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you just to kind of change things up a little bit and tell you what's happening on the commercial side. What this is really pointing to is what a lot of things have been pointing to, that the West is becoming more the power center of Canada. I mean, for years and decades, it was back east, it was Toronto, and anything west of Toronto considered, by Torontonians was considered non-existent. But now we are starting to get some clout, and basically the West is starting to dictate more and more terms, which will certainly play into an interesting leadership race in the Liberal Party, and to see, will it be somebody from Quebec representing the party overall, and when Western Canada is certainly starting to take more and more clout and gaining more and more of the financial sector. Anyway, it's been Cam for Cam's Mortgage Minute, and I will see you guys tomorrow.